Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Siem Reap. We're walking around and we're going to check out a 10th century temple that is a mountain temple that's really similar to Pre Rup, if you remember that video that I made. Anyway, this is another one of those, and it's the first temple here in Angkor that was built out of sandstone, and it was the state temple of Jayavarman V, and he took over the throne when he was 10 years old, and he was pretty young, and whenever he was 17 he commissioned the construction of this temple. The construction went on and it was struck by lightning, and they said that's an ill omen, so they actually stopped construction on it, and it was finished up later on. Anyway, it's the stylized depiction of Mount Meru, which is the mountain temple, and we're going to go and we're going to take a look at it here. So the temple is just up here. There's another small little temple that's to the right, and there's not much really worth looking at. And I was walking over there, I was setting up, and the monkeys came out, so I filmed a little bit of that. I'll stick them right there in the video. They were swinging from the trees and doing all this stuff. So a group of monkeys right here in the road. That's the male right there, and then the females with all the young are over there. See that going up that way is that Don Mao temple, and then we're going over here to Ta Keo. It's the much better site. Some guys going by on a tuk-tuk. You can see it just ahead right through those trees, and it's a nice little 100-meter walk or so up to the temple, and then we'll climb all the way to the top. Now I think they are restoring this with a group of Chinese. The Chinese are the ones that are responsible for helping repair these. Here in Angkor, the different temples are sponsored by different nationalities. Like the Koreans will be doing one, the US will be doing another, the Japanese. And it's kind of cool because they're contributing to, human history here. And they are willingly spending their tax dollars to help restore some of these, because Cambodia just doesn't have the resources to restore all of these humongous temples on their own. So here we are. So right here would have been the entranceway, and there would have been the lions on the side. You can see there's just some stones here, and then they would have these little columns to guide you into the front. Now when work stopped after it was struck by lightning, they also say that there was a little bit of issues with succession, because Jayavarman V died, so they were trying to decide who was going to be the new king. And then they completed it, and they say that there was actually like a cult that would come here, and they would worship on the first tier at some of the shrines up until the 13th century. So you can see over here, there would have been like a moat, it looks like, or it would have been the like the ponds. Probably another one on this side over here. There was a few places where they excavated and they found like some iron slag and some other things here at this site. But check it out, this is just massive. And it does have the 5 prongs up on the top tier that symbolizes, Mount Meru and all of that. And then a couple little buildings over here. We can see the ground level here. So they did use those huge laterite stones to build the base, and then they put the sandstone blocks on top of it. And there's not a lot of decorations at this temple. It's mainly just the big blocks. You can see right up there the lintel and stuff like that. But when the work stopped, they didn't decorate it like they would normally some of the temples. And this is just absolutely massive. And you can see the stones going up the stairwell. And they would have probably had some images here on the outside of these doors. And then right there would have been the fake windows. And the little columns that normally are there, there's only just a little tiny base. And you can see where they, instead of using wood at this temple, they used the metal. Okay, so let's climb up here and we'll walk around a little bit of this these tiers. On the first level here, we have this stone building. And the way they're kind of restoring it kind of leaves it a little, I don't know, it's just a little sterile. There's not any debris on the ground. It's all over here, and then they're using that metal. So I don't know what their plans is, if they're gonna restore the top or what they're going to do. But you can see they've put new blocks in right here. These are all new because those original sandstone ones are broken. And it looks like they're restoring these little windows and stuff. So these are quite cool. I really like these. And you'll see them, they'll put these in even if it's like a fake window. And what they did is they carved this around like that, and then they put a little notch on the bottom, and then in this piece here they put a little square, and so that goes right down in there on the bottom and on the top. And they did that for all of them. And then each of these pieces are all carved in different ways, so they all fit together like a big puzzle. And then some of the lintels you see up there on the top are just for decoration. Others are load-bearing. These are just for decoration up there. You can see the styling of that. So it'll have the picture in the middle, and then it'll go out here, and it'll have those stone carvings. There's Naga on the corners and all of that. And then they carve that sandstone into different designs across the top and across the bottom. Yeah, this is a nice little building. It's just, like I said, it's kind of sterile with all the debris over here in a big pile. I have the other buildings over there that are pretty much the same. You can see the back side of this gate. So they got that metal band up there to keep it from coming apart. Here they got some wood stairs. We'll go up in here. So there would have been probably those lions on the sides of this entryway. And this is another 5-tier temple. Check out the size of those blocks up there. And they carried them up to the second level, and then they had to lift them up to get them up there. Oh, this is nice. So they put this all back together, and it is open at the top. I think that would have been closed originally. And then they have the place here where they would have had their deity. They would have came in. Yeah, and you can see the cross beams in here. That looks new over there, but some of this is the original. And then here's part of one of the lintels, and you can see how they have that braced up. Okay, so here we go. This is quite nice. And again, looks like they've restored these buildings quite a bit, and that's cool right there. So you can see they have that little window across the top. Huh. I haven't seen one that's styled like that. Yeah, that's really neat. Then here they would have had the standing figure. They would have had a cow. That cow's in really nice shape also. And the other side. And in normal fashion, these all had to be balanced. And you can see here they did some of the stonework across the front up there. It looks like a big stairwell we're going to climb next. And uneven stairs because they're just these sandstone blocks. You can see some of the carvings right there in that sandstone. So I would just carve that with a hammer and a chisel all across here. So that was somebody's job, where they just sit there and chiseled and chiseled and chiseled. Yeah, it's quite nice. You can see where that sandstone sloughed off right there, but those are quite cool. They look like lilies to me. And then inside this little building, there won't be a whole lot to see, but you can see they would have had the lintel here. They would have had the figures, but it's all gone. and they would have had an image in here to worship. That would have been interesting with those little windows up there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And they carved it on the inside also. You can see this is all sandstone here. It's got some dirt on it now where grass and stuff like that can find some purchase. But they hauled all these rocks in and they just built this pyramid out here. And then you can see some more of the debris and this whole tier up here is just absolutely massive. But check out this, they have this walkway. I don't know if it was a building to be used for anything or if it was just a walkway going around. And then we can look up to the temple. You can see the people, how small they look up there. So there's 3 tiers here. So let's climb all the way up to the top. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little pedestals right here. And I'm sure they would have all had images. Now these stairs are quite worn, but it makes you wonder how many millions of feet have climbed up on them over the centuries. Yeah, there would have been an image right there, and then this is all carved as well. Yeah, and there's nothing really remaining over here of these. All right, so let's climb all the way up. So here we are up on top. And they have a lot of debris up here. So they actually had a walkway with a rail around the outside. And this would have been down into the big piece of stone. And this would have been the rail. And they would have had another stone going across the top there. And you can see like their thing for their images and stuff like that. Now, if you remember my video from Pre Rup, they had all the lions right here, and then they would have had the elephants on the corners. And it looks like there's something there on the pedestal, but there's no image to be found. But you can see here how they had, that would have been the guardrail across here, and there would have probably been the elevator here, because you are way up high. There is a danger of falling. So you can see those little buildings there and that walkway. It does go all the way around. When you come in, you don't even see that. But you can see all those little buildings, and then that's the way we came in there. Now, just take a look around here. So you see all this is trees, but back in the day, all these trees would be gone. There'd be houses, little canals, stuff like that. And you would have looked over that way, and that would have been the city center. And you'd have been up above everything here on this mountain temple. And you can see here, so they have these prongs. There's the 4 in the cardinal directions. And you can see here again, these huge sandstones that they brought in. Just massive. And they somehow got them all the way up here. So let's take a look inside of one of these prongs right here. As you can see, it's pretty rough with just the sandstone. It's all pretty new. So I don't know what the team is going to do here, if they're going to do all the carvings and stuff. It looks like they put these laterite stones here to kind of keep it braced up. And then inside, looks like an image in here. You can see the bat droppings and stuff. Yeah, it's nice enough inside here. Feels kind of cool. But they're blocking the way off at 2 of the directions. Just more brick. And then that humongous tower in the middle. All right, let's go up into that. Some more of the sandstone stairs. And then you can see where they've used that metal again on the door jamb. So you can see here, that would have been, or it would have shaped kind of like a lotus flower to me, the prong. You see how it's smaller on the bottom, then it kind of bows in the middle, and then it goes up to kind of the point. And you can see quite a bit more of the debris out here. So let's look inside here. Okay, so here's the entranceway. This feels quite nice. Has a little breeze. And then you can see here, they've converted this into a little Buddhist shrine right here. So the locals will come and they'll sit on the mat, they'll burn the joe sticks, they'll leave a little offering, and they'll feel good. You can see it goes up, has some trees growing up there. Yeah, I'm not sure how tall this main prong is here in the middle. Seems like it was 21 meters or something like that. And then you see here they have some more of the like parts of the Buddha images and stuff. And there would have been the original like a little pedestal for that Shiva Linga stone. Yeah, this is really nice. You see how tall we are here, and we're still not even as tall as those shorter prongs up here on this top tier. And we're kind of up here at the tops of the trees. Yeah, and if all these trees were gone, you'd be able to see Angkor Wat right over in that direction. But you can't see it, there's too many trees. And a nice look at that prong right there. So it's kind of interesting, it has that yellow on it. Not sure what the yellow is from. And they've put some metal up there, so they have that on the top of the prong. Must be to keep like the birds from coming down in there. And then out into the jungle. Just to give you an idea how steep the stairwell is. So in the old days, they could have came right up here from either entrance. This is the north, and they have the 4 cardinal directions and those little prongs. And there's the shop where they do the restoration work. You can see some bricks and stuff like that out there. Kind of funny watching them come up these stairs all breathing hard and sweating. That is kind of a pretty steep climb. Now, can you imagine doing that, dragging up these big bricks? That's what they did to build this. So one last little look here at all these buildings. And they're doing something with this. I have no idea what this is about. But then you can see all these buildings up here on the top tier with that center prong. Yeah, it's quite cool. One more little look here at the entrance gates. So we're way, way back down. This is super tall. It's pretty impressive. All right, so let's go down and we'll see then the trees a little bit. You can see the maintenance crew are all these ladies. They have these little machetes. And then they make those brooms out of those little reeds. And they use that to sweep the leaves up. And then they'll put them in a bag and they'll probably burn them off somewhere. That's going to finish up our video over here at this temple, Ta Keo. And it's really nice. It's a 10th century, temple that's built like a mountain. It symbolizes Mount Meru, which is important in the Hindu faith. And it's quite cool. The climb up there is something else. The level of restoration is, to me, it's not as good as the other temples that you'll see. It just has got like a really sterile feel. It is just a kind of an open layout. All the debris has been picked up. Most of them, if they haven't been restored, they leave the debris in place, and it kind of gives it more of an authentic feel. But it's still worth your time to come over here and check this out. I mean, it is a 10th century temple after all, and it's just in a great environment. I mean, you can see around me here is just trees, and you hear the birds and everything. If you're here in Angkor, definitely this is one that you probably should stop by and see. It's kind of on your way if you're going into the main part of the old city. So you'll see it. And there's like a few other things here. There's like a rope bridge and a zip line that's out here. So if you are into some of that stuff, it's here. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash like. Subscribe if you're new here. This is what I do. I show you things I see and tell you a little bit about what I know. Today we got to go climb a mountain. That's a temple mountain. And it was pretty fun. And if you know anything more about this temple, leave me a comment down below. And I would like to know a little bit more if you know more about it than I do. Like if you know exactly how tall it is, because it is big. I just got like, the second tier was this and couldn't find exact dimensions of it. So anyway, if you know more about it, and I will post the best description I possibly can down in the video description. So from over here at Ta Keo, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.